Okay, what fun, exciting times we got for this morning. We're going to change out the front rear sprocket and put a new chain because at 17,000 miles, this factory chain is starting to get a few dead links where they're kinking up, and you might be able to see one there, and they're not really straightening out. So we're going to switch all this out. The sprockets still don't look bad, but everybody says if you change the chain, you might as well change the sprockets. I hear this front one is a real bitch. So we're going to give it a go and see how it turns out. I picked up some supplies here. We stopped by Sprocket Center online, picked up a new front rear chain, sprocket, the works here. So let's take this thing apart. So let's take this thing apart here. First piece I'm going to take off because I'm going to see how hard this front sprocket is before I worry about anything else. So we're going to take this one off here. To take this off, we're going to need a 8mm. And let's see, do I need the extension here? Nah, I got it. And now we can see the dreaded front socket here. There's a... We're going to need to straighten out this washer. We're going to bend this and flatten it out so we can spin that off. So let's grab a screwdriver and go to work. Okay, so we've flattened that around there some. Now we need to immobilize this from spinning. Right now I've got it in neutral, and I've weighted the rear brake with a 10-pound weight down on it to keep this from spinning when we hit it with the impact wrench. So we'll see if 10 pounds is enough. We're going to use our 27mm impact socket to get that nut off for the front sprocket. So let's see if the nightmares are true on this. We're going to hit it with the impact wrench and see if we can loosen this thing up there. Got it. I'm going to go ahead and loosen this up some. I'm going to keep it attached for now, but we'll go ahead and get this stuff off here. This castle nut on the back, you can actually use that same 27mm onto it, or also a 1 1/16 as well. Will work right on there too. You got to look at the other side nut. Sometimes it wants to spin with it. And it does. So we're going to need to hold that other side. The nut on the other side is a 22mm. You need a visual reference. It's a 22mm, but usually I'll just hold it with an adjustable wrench. And there we go. This factory chain doesn't have a master link that I've seen on here. It's just riveted all the way through. So while I still got it mounted up here and I got something to push against, we're going to try to grind the head off of one of these pins. So let's see, there it goes here. Okay, so we ground the head of that down some. Let's see if ye old $9 Harbor Freight chain breaker will push it out. Yeah. If we can get the camera in there. Yeah, so pushed it in through here, pin's coming out the other side. So for now, I'm going to leave it connected. And we'll go ahead and take this back wheel off and change the sprocket out. And the plan is pull that off, hook the new chain to it, run it forward, switch that sprocket out. Okay, to start to take the rear wheel off, we're going to take the brake caliper off and then the ABS sensor. These use a, what is this? 6mm hex. Okay, let me grab a bungee to support this real quick. We'll go ahead and take this the rest of the way off. Let's see if we can slide it through the other side here. Bingo! And there you pull your brake caliper out when you slide that and drop it down too. Okay, so you just work your chain off the sprocket and just kind of hang it aside here, and then the wheel comes out. Go ahead and, I got it, take these spacers out. We don't lose them. Now remember, I'm going to take this one out, put it on this side, and when I take the other side, set it on that side. I supported the tire on a bucket because you don't want to lay it flat on the ground or something where it may warp your disc. So that supports it around the ring here. And I dropped some weight in the bucket to help for stability. So we're going to crack these sprocket bolts off here. These are probably upside down, but a 14mm. Easy enough. And off with the old sprocket. Let's go fishing. Okay, we got a new sprocket, and when you put them on, you want to put it on where, I don't know if you can read it or not. Oh, we got it too high. There we go. Where the writing's at on the outside. There's no writing on the inside. So slide it on there with the writing facing out. And with me, I will stay with the same 46 tooth as the factory spec. Than me doing all this here. I'll come back when it's torque time. Okay, so we got them kind of snugged up. We'll hit them with the old torque wrench, 44 pounds on it. And we're good to go. And I'm going to try to connect this to the back piece and then use that to run it through as a kind of a guide. Just let it follow in like a train here. So let's see how this works. So let's kind of feed it through. There, and then I may have to cut it and then pull it and hang it, and then get this. Well, no, I can do it just like that. Let's get that washer out. And a sprocket. Yeah, see, the sprockets weren't bad. There's not a lot of sharp toothing or saw blading onto it. Okay, we're going to install the front sprocket here. Got a brand new one, and just like the back one, you want the stamping or lettering to face towards you or away from the bike. It's hard to see, but there's a little on there. We've got a replacement washer. They say not to use the old one. You can pick these up for $4 or $5, and it'll go on there like a cup. Supposedly, there it goes. And then the manual tells you to lube these threads up. I'm not going to save the oil because I'm just going to butcher. It's like moly dihydrate sulfate or whatever. So I'll probably just kind of type it out down here instead of trying to butcher it and tell you what it is. It's basically kind of like, from what I can tell, is a sort of an anti-seize. This part's going to get really hot between the engine and the friction of the chain, so it just helps keep this bolt from seizing, as far as I can tell. Where's it at? Where's my bolt at? And then we'll just tighten this up hand. Just to kind of hold that sprocket in place. We're going to torque it later once I attach this to the rear wheel, and then I can apply the brake again and keep this from spinning. But for right now, we'll have it just hand tighten to hold the sprocket in place. And I've kind of got thoughts. Should I go ahead and attach the chain, or should I put the rear wheel on and then attach it? Hadn't thought that far ahead. Give me a minute. Okay, so we'll go ahead and connect the chain. We're going to put the back tire on, and then we'll attach the chain. These spacers that come out, I'm going to clean them up and then re-grease them. the one on each side there. So we're just going to wipe these down, clean off all the old grease, and get them clean, and then re-grease them up with some new ones there. And we'll go and wipe down the axle bolt and re-grease it up. And we'll wipe that out and clean out the inside, and then repack that with some grease as well there. Okay, I'm going to put the back tire back on. I'm going to try to not knock the camera over doing it. This piece is the brake, attaches the brake caliper, and it needs to slide in here. And then the axle is going to go through here as well. So this is the tricky part to it. Because you've got it, you've got the spacers that want to fall out, and then you got to slove this through there. It's easier if you do have a second hand, which I don't, because that's what's going to happen. It likes to fall out. There's a trick to it. It's been a while since I took the tire off. I'm trying to remember. Okay, fun. We're getting there. There we go. And we're going to that side. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, so here's the story. I tried to attach this clip first before putting the wheel on. And I was like, I just can't get a good grip on it, right? So I said, well, throw the wheel on, and then I'll take the clip back out, run it over here, and lay it on the sprocket so I can really work on it. I couldn't get the clip back off, right? So I said, fuck it. So I've got the clip slid back on there, and what we're gonna do is just take the tire back off, lay it across here, just like you would if you were just switching out the tire. I'm going to, a lot of people fuss about these clips. I've had one on bikes before, and it seemed to work pretty good. And then I'm gonna run stainless steel, what do you call this garbage? Oh, I'm gonna run some stainless steel lock wire just right around here as well. And that should give me some trouble feed. Next time, maybe I'll spring $100 on a riveting tool. I don't know. We'll see. So let me get this ready, and I'll be right back. Okay, we got our tire back on. We got our axle pinned through there. It's not been torqued down yet, but we'll go ahead and we'll put the old brake caliper back on there. We're going to use our 6mm hex again. And we're going to take this thing to torque specifications of 18 foot-pounds. Go. Oh, take two. I guess I didn't hit record a moment ago. So I got everything on here. I tightened this on by hand just to hold it in position. And now I need to take out this chain slack. So I'm just adjusting these until I get about 2.5 mark. And then I'm gonna go to the other side and adjust it to it's about the 2.5 mark so they're even, and then kind of go from there. It's a third hash mark on the other side, and now we're really tight on this chain. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll it forward a couple of turns on each side until I get to my slack. And for this bike, it says their play is about 25-35 millimeters. It's about an inch and a quarter of total movement up and down, right? Okay, we got a little extra play because I've always found out when I go to torque this down, for some reason it moves the chain in and tightens a little bit. So I always start off with a little bit extra. And if I need to unloosen it, move it some more, I can. The spec for this is to torque to 79.7. Yeah, I just turned it to 80. You may have to, let me get a good shot here, move this a hair one way or the other to get it to line up with a couple of these holes here. So we can drop the cotter pin. So let's turn it back just a hair, but let's also check. Yeah, not bad now. And I'll probably have to do it with the wrench too on the other side, but let's just see. Nope, it moved. You can reuse these, where's the camera at? If you want to, but they start looking like trash, so usually I'll put a new one in there every couple of ones because you can pick up a 30 pack for a couple of bucks. Yeah, you can pick up a whole pack of these for like a couple bucks. So yeah, once it starts looking trash, just throw a new one in there. Falling. Okay, so we got our chain on, sprockets torqued, that's torqued. Okay, I don't know if you can see, I've got the bike off the stand, so I got some weight on the rear wheel. We've put the 10-pound weight on the brake, and then we're going to torque this thing down. This takes a lot. It is 122 foot-pounds. I may have to get somebody to stand on that, but we're going to torque it down. Okay, I got that torqued down, did it off camera. I had to get somebody to squeeze the front brake, step on the rear brake as I torqued it. So we've got that down. Now we just got to fold this over. Where'd it get in there? Let's put a little tap. Next step, we'll put the cover back on. Okay. Is that everything? I don't see any spare parts laying around. Okay, we just need to put that epoxy on the safety wire down there, and I think we are good. And as soon as it stops raining, we'll give her a test drive. So I appreciate you sticking around for this long-ass video of me changing all these out. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments section. And we got a mess to clean up. So let's get to cleaning up. Take it easy.